Alright, welcome back everyone to our another stream. So, we are here finally. So, first of all, this ROM hack, which we'll go through over time, has so much. But I want to get something from last night. One moment. Alright, here we are. So, as I was saying, before we begin, about last night, I can't show anything right now. The opening screen, the save menu, where my saves are, because the team I have is spoiler. There's spoilers in there. And I don't want to spoil you too soon. That will come as we progress. So, before we get into our new game, I'd like to clear something up from last night, which is, I'm sorry I ended the stream earlier after defeating Omega. However, now what's funny is 5 minutes after I ended the stream, I ended up being able to get out using the teleporter, saving my game, and then getting that save back to normal tier edition, so that save is fine. I just wanted to clear that up, that I didn't sound like I was just leaving or I was frustrated. I was, but that wasn't on any of you in chat. So, now that that's out of the way, let's get into this game. So, we've got a new game going right now. This is a ROM hack of Final Fantasy IV called Final Fantasy IV Ultima Plus. This is the latest version that just released. It's created by 8-Bit Fan, Climax, and some others will know who he is, with Chili Freeze. If you're on the Ultima Discord board, they made this along with many others. So, As the title shows, this is a new game plus, so I've already played through my first playthrough, but I am gonna treat this as a first playthrough just as I did in Chrono Trigger and T Edition, although T Edition I started from the beginning anyway, but as in Trigger, so I'm not gonna do anything anybody would normally do on the first playthrough. There may be one thing to get a spoiler character I might do, but that's way, way later towards endgame that I would not recommend you do. So, we are here. Once you beat Zeromos, see the ending, you'll get your skull, and then you end up on this island, and it'll say, congrats, you beat Final Fantasy IV Ultima Plus romhack. New Game Plus is now available. So, what this gives is if you're 99 or whatever level you are, you can level up another 50 levels to level 149. So that means more stats. Along with many other things. So, we're gonna go through everything one by one once we begin this next game on how this game plays. So, this game still takes the original story just like 6th edition does, doesn't change anything. And just adds a whole bunch of new stuff. Super bosses, new weapons, items, quality of life things, which I'll be showing. So, let's get going. So, as you can see, it says commencing new game plus. So, we get to this screen. Now, this screen will pop up whether you're going on a first playthrough or not. Standard is normal, reduced is easy. The classic Ultima experience, some players may struggle with late game content. That means some of the optional bosses, although enemies take longer than and some bosses have fewer HP, but some of the bosses are still the same. So for this run, because there is a special battle I want to do, we're going to do reduced. And I would recommend if you haven't played 4 or you have played 4 and you're getting ready to play this, I would also recommend doing easy, only because you're kind of handicapping yourself against the super bosses. I repeat, you're handicapping yourself. I know some players like to go standard for the challenge. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's not. It's your choice, but some say this game is a little too difficult for some people. The story part, it's no different. It's the optional stuff. It's the optional. It's the super bosses. And there's a boss rush here, just like in T Edition. However, it is an actual boss rush, so it only has bosses. So, we are going to choose Reduce as a first playthrough. If you want to choose Standard, that is on you. I'm not saying you're full to do it. You're not. So, as we begin, we're going to let the opening play out. The iconic opening we've all know about. Also, what you're going to see here is dialogue is different. NPCs actually have names. And they're not just insert X, just soldier. Oh, Red Wing, they actually have names. So, let us begin. So, let's choose Reduce. And we're gonna get the iconic opening. So, as you see, there's a name here. It's Pierre. Captain Cecil about to arrive. Good. So, the captain, the helmsman has a name. It's not just Red Wing. Now, I don't know if that Pierre is a reference to Star Wars. It could be. So, let this play out. And then you see Biggs and Wedge. I think they said this in T Edition at the developers room. Also, if you have questions, please post them in chat, and I'll attempt to answer the best way I can. You can tell us he's troubled as well. We are under orders yet. Hand over the water crystal. You all remember this. What? What have we done to warrant this? The crystal, your life. So this is no different. To take the crystal. Then this. Take the crystal and leave. Before you go, tell me one thing. Why does your king so eagerly chase the crystals? One wonders. Hmm? He starts to question right here. We are the Red Wings, yet we plundered like common thieves. Well, hello, Rebel Father. I see you looking. Welcome, as usual. Enough, Captain. The Mysidians didn't even resist. Listen, possessing the crystal is essential to our prosperity. Now, he's talking differently than he does in the vanilla. Moreover, His Majesty deemed the Mysidians knew too much about the crystal's secrets. We are the Red Wings, the Elfos of Baron. The royal command is absolute, like the good soldier you are. Captain? Monsters at the fall. So, it says monsters at the fall. That is likely supposed to be the correct saying. So, let's get going. Battle stations. So, we have 3 enemies, Firebomb, but we have an alert. Now, Ice Shard. You okay? More incoming. Stand guard. So this isn't the Raven, it's this. Let Bolt. Everyone okay? Yes, sir. There are too many monsters these days. Is it some sort of omen? We're nearing Baron. Prepare to land. It's so good that 8-Bit gave these Wet Wings names. Kind of makes them sound like they should. They're not just nobody NPCs. So you saw that I used an ice shard. Welcome, Captain. Is that the crystal? I'm afraid I don't understand. He's already questioning what he did. Please wait here. That's kinda weird. If Cecil is leader of the Wet Wings, he should have free reign to go to the king. Now you'll notice these two things here. Those are save points. Your Majesty, I'm afraid the captain harbors distrust for the crown. Truly, well done, Bargain. But the crystal is more important. Call him in. Yes, Your Majesty. Captain, His Majesty bids you enter. The kingdom hails your return. Aha. We all know who this king is. Ah, look. And now he does it. Your Majesty. Yes, you are the dismissed, Captain. What purpose does collecting crystals serve while assaulting good people for a gem? Is this disobedience? No, I only mean, I know of your discontent, Cecil. If you cannot trust me, I can no longer trust you with the Wet Wings. That quick. You are hereby relieved of your post. Just for questioning. Your Majesty, you are now charged with bringing this signet to Miss Village, the package, but it's called signet. Let nothing, not even the Esper of the valley, oppose you. Cecil meant no disrespect. If you're so concerned about Cecil, join him and receive the signet. I'm sorry, King. Don't worry, you'll be commanding the White Wings in no time, but save it. Go to your room and rest. So, we finally have control. So, there's some things. I'm not going to go over everything now because there's a lot, and I doubt you're going to want to hear everything. So let's go into the menu. So, as you can see, I am at level 149, the max level, and 999 MP. And max skill. So, let's begin with the item tab. So as you can see, it's pretty basic. So, your items, you have your X potion, your elixir, your remedy. These are the high-end items. Your life, your ether, your mega elixirs. Yes, you can buy mega elixirs in this ROM hack. Then you have your cottage or tent, your all potions, which is an mega potion from 8. Same effect. Then you have these things: Sanders, Hermes, Lunar Light, Time Aid. This is the only way in this ROM hack to cure stop. Your ethereal mantle, your decoy, these will come into play later. Your elf cloak, and then you come to firebomb, your offensive items, your ice shard, your lit bolt, and wind slash. Yes, you actually do have lit bolt. And then you come over here to your void zones, your silk web, which is slow. Now, every boss in this ROM hack can be slowed. Then you come over your dark matter here. I don't know what this does specifically, but we're gonna find out. Then you have your antimatter, which I believe does black hole. Then you just have Stardust, large holy dark damage. So here's one of the ultimate weapons, the Apocalypse from 7. So if we go in, as you can see, the Apocalypse has 30 to all stats, 99% hit, 255 attack. It can proc Meteo. And it has all of the elements and inflicts all those status strings. It is strong against all of that. More of this makes sense later. With this weapon on, you can steal, and anyone can equip it. So, as you can see, so your mages can become physical. And it's a long range weapon, so same damage from back. Then I have Pink Tails. There's an easy way in this game to get Pink Tails. So, as usual, you can trade them for the admin armor, or you can boost stats with them. The medium cannon, the Gaia drum, and then here we have the Perseus arrows. Those are the best arrows in the game. This is your starting. You have heal and abilify, which gets kind of confusing on a first playthrough because you have to remember which one cures which status effect. Sushi kind of did that in T edition by combining. Magic Dart is just your first offensive item that does light to weak damage, but it's good at the start on a first playthrough. But I don't need any of this because Remedies already play it. But we'll keep this on for the time being. So we have items now. So as you can see, Cecil Dark Knight has MP. Now you're probably wondering, he doesn't have MP in vanilla. Correct, but not in this ROM hack. He actually does have black magic. He starts off with Drain. And then you have Scourge, Gale, the twos, Psych, Break, Black Hole, Supernova. there's a reason why he has this, which is why I did not show the opening spoilers, because there's a spoiler here. So before we go to equipment, we're gonna go over his status right now without anything on because he's unequipped. Those are his stats right now. So form, same thing. So if we go over the extra, we have key items. So your key items will stay key items and go separately. You can't see what they are, but you also have this quality of life, and I'm glad 8-Bit did this. You have the fat chocobo. Because if you notice my item window, it's not as big as it can hold as much. And you can do this at any time. So if I want to take, which I will, it'll show what I have now. Pretty much what I have here is the best stuff this game has to offer. The blood sword, and I've got multiples. The assassin knife. It's pretty self-explanatory. The Golgan sword, that is that really tough sword to get in vanilla off the Medusas. You can buy it in this ROM hack. The Avenger pinwheel, the Judgment hammer, the Hyperion, Runak, Sage, Muz, same. You can buy all of this. Dragon whips, the best whip. The Triton helmet, black robe, the chicken knife from 5. The Brigandine axe. The Masamune, the Thunder sword, which is a pretty good sword. Berserk ring, the Ragnarok. Notice you haven't seen Crystal Sword. The Crystal Sword is not in this ROM hack. I believe the crystal might be the Lightbringer. Holy Lance, the Brave Blade. The Spoon Daggers you can buy. Glass Mask, Tiger Mask. Ribbons. The Lock Helm. Shout out to T Edition to 6, which doubles the chance of dropping. You can easily get and buy Zeus gauntlets, the hard things to get in vanilla. The Slaying Toe, these two are ultimate weapons, done by beating optional super bosses in here. The Sapphiric Shield is the best shield in the early part of the game. The Protect Ring, the Maneuverer. You have your gold apples, just like you do in T Edition. Your silver apples, the Aura Staff, the Thor Hammer, Wing Edge, Dragoon Spear, Black Belt, Morning Star, Yoshi, Flare Hammer, Excalibur. Yeah, you pretty much, the Illumina. You have your Grand Helm, your Grand Armor, Curse String. You have your Artemis Bow, the Cala de Blog. That's Titus's weapon from 10, which is actually good on Cecil as a Dark Knight. You have your Perseus, Artemis, your Crystal Ring, your EXP ring, your admin ring, your litter rods, the hard rod in the game. In vanilla, you can buy them, and they're pretty easy to get. Your Ultima Sword, the Valhalla, the Ultima 2, the Medusa, the Soma drop, which you can buy those. You have your Nirvana, the best staff in the game. It's no longer the silence that it was in vanilla. Then you have your Feint, your Claws, Perseus both, the Eclipse and Tempest. The Mersame and Masamune are not the best swords. The Vesper Ball and Chain, the Merit Cap, Magus Rod, the Lunar Shield, Lunar Helm, Omega Wings, the Loki's Loot, the best harp for Edward, and of course you have your admin armor, helmet, you have your shuriken, you have your usual stuff. The Celestial Shield is the best shield in the game. The Lunar Gems can be traded or can be sold. You can pick up quite a few. We have Globe 199. That is what the CPU uses. It does a flat 14,999 damage. The Gilbert, which is pretty good. The Nightbringer, that is the third Dark Sword that Cecil would gain at Fable. The Mystic Armor is the best armor in the game. So, we need to take stuff out to equip Cecil, so we have an Apocalypse. I'm going to give him the Ultima 2. Now, you're going to wonder why did I say that. You'll find out. Take out Omega. Now, Mystic. And admin. So, if we go in, as you can see, Cecil is dual wield in this ROM hack as a Dark Knight. He can dual wield 2 swords. And you see the stats, the element, attack, resist, weak, race, kill, defend, element. So, we'll begin here. And you see as things auto-populate in. You can give Cecil a shield, but we're going to give him that. And then we're going to give him the admin helm. So when it says weak and resist, he'll actually absorb. The Mystic is pretty much giving him so he'll absorb both lightning and wind. The resist and weak cancel each other out. So pretty much this could be endgame. I could equip him with another Apocalypse. and have 2. And with that, he's got max vitality, which is plenty good. Pretty much max stats. We'll keep that stuff on for Kane, but as we come down here, the info, the icon key, the icon key here shows everything, what you saw, the little, like fire, ice, thunder, or statuses. And we also have a bestiary. Yes, there is a bestiary added in here. So there are 216 entries. You fill this by scanning enemies, which I'll show when we get out into battle. There are a few spoilers in here, so we won't go all the way through. So, just like in T Edition, your battle speed will be default to 3. So, 1 makes the enemies faster, 6 makes them slower. The advanced tactics used on super bosses is to set your speed to 6, because that only affects the enemy's speed, not yours. We'll keep the battle message on 1. We can turn encounters off at will. Well, evening, Beastie Man. Hope your evening's going well. So, as I was saying, we can turn encounters off and on at will. So, now that I've shown pretty much everything, putting on another apocalypse would really change nothing overall in his equipment stats. But the Mystic armor instead of the admin armor. So, let's continue. So if you want to talk, pick up stuff, you should. Also, Beastie Man, watch the beginning of the vid. I actually go over what happened after I ended the stream last night, and I'll say that it wasn't on any of you viewers out there. Oh, I'll say it again. So, not 5 minutes after I ended the stream, I was able to get out of there, get back onto the airship and save it, and redo my game to get T Edition back to the normal game. But that wasn't on you with me ending it early. So as you saw, we picked up money and a couple of items. So here comes Rosa. was anxious. How could we be hurt? The mages didn't even raise their hands. Let's discuss this later. Very well. So he isn't as cold there as in vanilla. You're gonna see some dialogue differences. There is nothing new here. And then we have Sid. Hey, something's up. To tell the truth. What? Who's gonna lead the Red Wings then? What the heck's the king thinking? I'm not gonna make him another airship if he's using them to start unprovoked wars. Hey, I gotta get going. Hilda's worried because I've been pulling too many all-nighters. I'm sure you have been, Sid. Keeping up the basis? I don't think what? Get your reel down to the training room tomorrow. Things are changing. See, there's different stuff here. If you want to look around, you can talk to the soldiers. See what's going on. A lot of these soldiers feel they've lost their last glimmer. He's asleep, but you should clear up shortly. There we go. I change your linens, leaving early, sir. Sleep well. There you go. What happened to His Majesty? A kind, good knight who raised orphans like Cain and me. So, you get some story here. So, this king raised Cecil, so what happened to the other king? The one before this one? What would a man like that would want with something like the water crystal? Its value must exceed pure wealth in order of such an attack. Orders or not, my actions are unpardonable. And now you'll get your evening. Tell me what happened, mister. Why are you delivering something to Miss? So, what I got was the signet, the package. But it's called Signet. I believe that was the original name. It's nothing. Then why do you look away? Because he feels ashamed. He did something without cause, and he knows it. A dark knight shouldn't be acting like that, which shows that underneath underneath that mask, he actually has a soft side. In Mystery, we plundered the crystal from innocent people. I never thought my heart would reflect the color of my armor, yet here I am. You're a good man. I'm a dark knight with no courage to disobey his king. The Cecil I know will never whimper like this. The Cecil I love is... You're headed for mist in the morning, right? They say an Esper guards its valley. If anything should happen to you, Don't worry, Kane's coming too. It's late, go back to your room. Come back safe. Thank you, Rosa, but I know what I've become. So now we'll get the iconic opening again. Are you ready? I'll be counting on you. Then you nothing to fear. So we all know this. Yes, all good questions. So, we'll appear outside, just as normal. And we have Dragoon Kane, who's also at max level 149. And you notice Kane has magic because he actually has white magic in this ROM hack. He has the scan right now. He's got Lance. Lance is Kamari's Ronso. It's a drain to drain HP for monsters, just as Kamari does. He actually has some pretty decent support spells, but he also has High Wind. So, let's get him equipped. So, he begins usually with the wind spear, which, if proc, will cast tornado. But we're gonna give him the apocalypse. Oh. You can give him the Ultima. So the lunar helmet gives that. What does the admit? Pretty much the same. Except you get immune to a few more status elements. Of course, we'll give him the Mystic. So now we want to put away. Like I said, you don't have a lot of space here. This is all you have space-wise. So let's get into town. Loot the town as you normally would. So notice I didn't have to open the door. So the same building's still locked. So, as you can see, you have exit doors to escape dungeons. Those can be bought in this romhack. But we're gonna sell the old stuff I don't need. Well, actually keep our tents right now because cabins are in short supply as you can't buy them for quite a while. You know what? It'll be fine. So if you want to talk, you can. Ether, heal. I still have ethers. Joanna, which is His Majesty became dreadful. I heard you did an awful thing, monsieur. Don't drag Rosa into trouble, I beg you. So you have your dancer, but you have different treasures coming up here. You have your stop stand and another tent. So stop stand can be bought as well, and Hourglass stops time to cast stop on all enemies. Another offensive item. But let's get battling. I'm probably boring. And if you check the description, I left a link to where you can get to the website that was just created by Chili Freeze over on the Ultima Discord server to get this game, patch it, and play it. If you like Fall, you're gonna like this game. So, since we have the big chocobo, there's no carrots. Which is a nice quality of life option. So, let's get into battle. Do I have encounters on or off? I have them on. But first let's go in here. The big chocobo's already. Fill up your best area by using scan on your foes. There is no prize, I warn you, for completing the bestiary in this romhack. It's just the satisfaction that includes scanning bosses. Now, the boss rush will allow you to get bosses, to get battles where CISO's by himself and he can't scan, so don't feel like you missed them because you have not. So, what we have, so as for Kane, let's go over Kane. So, Kane, of course, has white, he has jump, but he also has leap. So, what leap does is it's jump but he'll stay above the enemy and come down when you choose to. So that can be useful in endgame. He can still grab certain buffs while he's waiting. But I want to do this. So, as you see, weak to win. However, it would also say bestiary updated. And the float eye would be added to your bestiary. Now, for Ciso, he's got 2 skills. Dark, which is what Ciso Dark Knight uses against himself at Mount Ordeals, and Bane, which uses HP to deal critical hits. However, with the Apocalypse Sword on, don't use Bane because it'll only end up hurting you. Dark is an AoE attack that is actually super good. Special. And of course he has his black. Supernova drops enemies HP down to single digits. Black hole is what Zeromos uses. Same effect. Burst is just Mega Flare, a weaker version. So, as you can see, and yes, that is really good, but once again, it takes HP. Now, I really won't be collecting many items I get post-battle, as I don't need them now, but for you on the first playthrough, pick them up. Item drops in this ROM hack seem to have a higher chance of happening, and it's easier to get some of the more rare stuff. So, let's do Drain. And we're gonna show you Leap. And then so, as you can see right here, Kane has not come down. Why is that important? Because he can avoid attacks. So I choose when he comes down. He could still gain regen stuff and other buffs while up there. And yes, the Apocalypse Sword does do Drain. And it blocked Mateo. So, there is the high potions, which is an... So, if we go to the bestiary, so if you choose him, you're going to see what you can get. So, as you can see, the drop rate 5%, and what you can get from common to mythic. Mythic is the super rare item. So I got the rare item in that fight. That happens a lot easier in this ROM hack, it seems. And it shows its stats, what it has. So it's actually really good. But let's get into the cave. I'll show off some offensive items. Also, if you're new here, thumbs up and a follow on YouTube greatly help this video get into the algo and help me and the channel and the vid. And if you're on Twitch, a follow and a sub will greatly help me there. If you sub before August 31st, you gain VIP status, even with a Prime sub. Okay, so you didn't see what I just saw. That was spoiler territory. That was something I was hoping to avoid, but likely how long it takes. We're going to be using state saves here. So let's do this, Supernova. Lancet. Gale is weak. Normally, like I said, Cecil would start off at Drain. And no, you won't do 10,000 like I am. But Dark can still be very usable, just use it sparingly. The little bar at the bottom of my HP is the ATB bar. now we'll show this high wind. Which does good damage and heals you. Now we'll bolt in the back row because the apocalypse works from the back row with same damage. It could be called the best sold in the game because of what guards to get it. So you want to make sure on your first playthrough, be scanning. And watch for counters when doing it. However, since they have some magic, let's see if I can drain it. No. Arrow. Make sure you're scanning everything. Treasures are pretty much the same. But we're going to do this. So you saw light shard. Ice shard. That's what Cecil used in that first battle on the airship. Lit bolt. So let's check that monster out. The Basteri is not an ABC order and it can be difficult to navigate to find what you want. And then 8-Bit or Chili Freeze decided to put some interesting lines on them. I don't know what exactly they mean. If it's a joke, it probably is. But if we go here, it's pretty much the same thing as the imps. So, you probably are asking yourself, how can it do drain when it only has one MP? Because I don't think it can. So, the item drops are the same. The silver apple is the mythic here, which boosts HP by 50. I see a lot of people looking. I'm hoping you're enjoying this content. So you pretty much saw these three, but you didn't see this. So Wind Slash. So let's scan the Soul Rat. And it would say Bestiary updated. And Kane just stole a heal. And I just stole a potion. Death. I'm using pretty advanced stuff because of my level, cause you're gonna be at level 1, not 7. In this ROM hack, you start at level 1. So let's use a couple of ethers. There are no achievements in this game, in this ROM hack, at least not yet. I don't believe they have any intention of adding them. That would require a complete rehaul of this. And this game, in this ROM hack's pretty stable as is. The only change in this edition, in this newest version from the previous version, which I was playing from 2025, gives Edge a chance to steal mythical items. Before you can only steal common and rare, but now he can steal mythical. One at 256, but you could get that. Knights of Baron. Who's there? Turn back now and no harm will come to you. Show yourself. Do you still wish to go on? Of course, if you say no, you walk back, then come up and do it again. Then we must deliver the signet to the Mist Village. Then I have no choice. See, so the mist is coalescing. So, the Mist Dragon. Remember, we just saw him in T Edition. We just saw him in T Edition as a summon. So, This battle's exactly the same as it was in vanilla. Hit him, and when he turns to miss, don't do anything or you will get countered as usual. Other than that, this battle's pretty straightforward. But you also want to make sure you scan it. But just keep in mind, if you miss it, you can get it later at the boss rush. So I wouldn't recommend resetting your game if you miss it. If you miss it, you miss it, but it is not missable. I can probably defeat him right now easily. Now, normally you're not going to be able to do it this fast. And it drops a nice shot. It can have a shot at dropping the ice brand sword. It's its mythical drop. So let's get to the bestiary on that. Now, I'm going to try to avoid as many spoilers, but you can see quite a bit. They are in no particular order. And it says, you just killed Rydia's mom. Be better. So, if you go into the Mist Dragon, you'll actually see its stats, what level and what it can give you. So, the drop steal rate is 25% chance. Now, for steal, either with the Apocalypse or at the boss rush with Edge. I got the rare item, the Ice Shot. The mythic is the Ice Brand. And it shows its stats. And what it resists and weak to. So I believe this is what it is in vanilla as well. So as you come out, you see the lay of the land is different. You can't just walk to the village. You have to take the long route. If you want to do any fighting, do it now. If you want to do any scanning, do it now. So, I'm going to take everything off of Cain for a reason. Because I don't want to lose it. However, he'll still be strong without anything on. I can always give him some of my other weaker stuff. So let's give him the Holy Lands. He doesn't need a shield, he'll be fine as is. Okay, we're gonna save it here. You didn't see that. So you're wondering, how did I get certain characters? You'll find out. Well, I see a Dan looking. So you go into Mist just as you normally would. However, in this ROM hack, turn back now. There's an extra battle. So then you have Mist Rage floating. So this is exclusive to this ROM hack. It's pissed. So battle's exactly the same. But it gives you another chance at possibly getting an early ice brand. I don't think that'll work. Oh, it does. So let's scan it. So you'll want to scan it. And it would say Basteri updated. And it's asleep. Yes, status changes do work. Know your status changes. Just like in T Edition. Silk Web. Lancet, that's Kamari's skill. And I didn't get anything strange this time. It has the same chance to drop of 25%. Unfortunately, RNG wasn't with me. There was no malice in that beast's attack, only anger. Just then, the signet began to glow. So, you have to wonder, this is supposed to burn mist, but the building's all made out of stone. It's hard to burn stone, even with fire that's magical. that was a bomb signal. Is this why we were sent here to burn down the village? Why? What happened to your mother? Mom's dragon died, so Mom did too. I've heard of these folk callers, those who hold the power to bond with espers. So when we defeated the dragon, we also, her mother, oops, I probably shouldn't have said that. You kill Mom's dragon? We never intended this to happen. His Majesty wanted to wipe out the callers of this village. Are you gonna finish the job? She's just a child. Then you renounce your loyalty to the crown? Yes. And he just does it. You won't be the only one. Pain? Question mark. I owe His Majesty much, yet I can't disgrace the honor of the dragoons. Then you understand what this means, Caesar. Belgium is the mightiest country in the world. We must have other countries join us, and Rosa as well. This isn't for your sake, but we better get her go. We need to go. What of the girl? We can't leave her. Listen, it's dangerous, so trust me, take my... No! So, there's no time. So, she is beatable. This isn't an unbeatable fight. However, you are not gonna be able to beat her on your first playthrough. But if you can, get to scan her. She has 50,000 HP. Now, I have that ability to be able to do it. You won't. And I win. But the game still moves on as if Titan was summoned. The whole point of the fight is to scan her. Oh, she's all right. We can't stay here. Kane, please be safe. So, we made it out. We're by ourselves again, fully restored. Notice, I lost the Holy Lance. Once I get Kane back, he should have it. So, this area becomes somewhat hard. So we take her to the inn. Oh my word, she's so pale. Please take her to rest free of charge. Thank you. You okay? Now, you have to wonder why Rydia actually accepts what happened. But her backstory will come into play later. You can close her backstory with her mother. More on that later. I haven't heard your name yet. I know I did an awful thing and I can ask your forgiveness, but at least let me protect you, please. So, we have this event. At last we found you, Cecil. His Majesty decrees the callers of mist are too dangerous to let live. What? I refuse. So, we're in this fight. Now, notice you can't scan it. This is a fight that you'll have to scan at the boss rush, since Cecil doesn't have scan. So, don't worry, you won't miss it. You're just not able to get it now. Silk web. Let's go ahead and attack the captain. And I would honestly use Doc here, since you're gonna get fully restored anyway. And you get 2 leather gloves, an iron, and a flandango. That is a new sword. It is a sword that can hit flanks. I don't need any of that. Are you alright? You put yourself in danger for me. It's the least I can do. Forgiveness is out of the question, but you protected me. I'm Rydia. Caller Rydia joined. So, in your first playthrough, as usual, Rydia will be at level 1 and have her basic spells. However, with me, Rydia is now, I've got her at level 149, over 10,000 HP. So, you're gonna see some stuff here that it will be spoilers. So, Rydia will be using her white magic, which is decent. It's not, but there's a twist that we'll see later with this. This white magic is pretty decent, although you probably won't be using it much. It's mostly for scans. So, her black magic. She has Firefall, Icefall, and Boltfall. That's Firebomb, Ice Shard, and Lit Bolt. Cause she has her usual things, getting these later solar flare, gravity, arrow, but that's not all. They ran out of room, so they had to put other black mage stuff into the summons. So you see a few spoiler summons. And she has now access to all of them. I'm showing that just because. But we need to equip her. Now, I could give her a staff. I could give her the Magus Rod. Or I can give her the Apocalypse if I want to turn her into a physical. The Magus Rod is the best rod in the game. We're gonna do that because normally you'd probably give her a rod anyway. So we'll give her a Celestial. Give her the Admin. But you can also give her the Lilith Rod, which is actually really good as well. I mean, sky's the limit of what you want to give her. However, of course, in a first playthrough, you wouldn't have that. Let's go ahead and storage and give. We'll use the stop sand. So, same stuff. We'll keep the high potion. So, as usual, pick up stuff. Shop if you have the money. It's pretty much leather and ruby stuff. Nothing too exciting. But you're gonna see a second shop. This. It's a magic shop. So, with the magic shop, you're going to be able to, and I would highly recommend first playthrough, that you buy Ramath, Shiva, and Ifrit. You should have the money by now to be able to give Rydia those summons. So Grimoire is Magicite from 6. It'll summon a random Esper to come to you. You can buy Stop Sands, Magic Dots, and Ruby Rings. Make sure to spend this. So she's able to gain that. Even though she hates fire, she can still cast Ifrit. So, as you can see, it's set as an armor shop. Here you can buy the change rod. That would be what you would buy. You have your arrows, the dreamer, and the flandango. Like I said before, the flandango will be able to hit flans with physical attacks, since, as you know, not many early swords in the game can actually hit them. It only does one. This will bypass that. But the Apocalypse does as well hit them. So, as usual, Rydia would be at 1 and you need to level her up. So she'll start out with this. Oh, you'll start leveling and gaining stuff. Yes, they had to put it on the second page due to space limit. So now that we have Rydia, now it's up to you if you want to level with her out here or in the waterway. So, we have the upgraded virus in bio. Gravity, of course, does gravity does set damage but can kill. Arrow is tornado. Confuse actually works, and it can even work on bosses. And the Magus Rod drains HP. And it steals. So let's take a look at that. And I want to look at Ultima 2 as well. Yes, the glass helm. The glass mask, the rare thing in vanilla to get at the end. It's actually pretty easy to get them. Where was it? You know what? We can take it off and I'll re-equip it. So first, powerful arcane rod. It does drain and dark ability. Used to cast black hole, so it procs black hole. But it looks like, oh, I know why. Because the mystic armor actually gives the ability to steal as well. So strong versus dragon, machine, giant, flan, demons, and whatever that one is, and undead. High HP base power. So this is an increase to the Ultima weapon. So it pretty much gives the same stats as the Apocalypse does. But it doesn't give any element status. It is not metal and can attack from the back row as well. So let's do Gale is tornado, arrow is arrow. And don't think Piggy is useless, it's not. That's right, the mystic armor. The armor of legend. So yes, it gives you a chance to still resist all ailments. It's the ultimate armor beating out the admin. But you get that in the area where the boss rush takes place in a very hard battle. Well, I wouldn't say hard, but... Well, welcome. And good evening, or day colder than hot fire. Hope your time's going well, whether it's evening, day, where you are. So, if you have questions, I can answer them. So, like I said, Cecil Dark Knight has magic, and he has actually useful magic. There's a little bit of spoilers here because of certain summons. Oh, right. Because I'm at level 149. So remember, in this ROM hack, you can go above 99 once you're in New Game Plus. So you can gain another 50 levels. So with what I have on, I pretty much have more or less max stats. And I have on probably the 2 best weapons in the game. The Ultima 2 is just the upgraded version of the Ultima. Because in previous games, I boosted their HP using golden apples. Because, guess what we have here? We have a good quality of life item. The Fat Chocobo. And it has everything I'm holding, which is pretty much the rare stuff, endgame stuff in the game. Of course, in the first playthrough, you won't. These silver and golden apples. Just like in T Edition. Now you probably know some of this already. There's the Illumina. There's your merit caps. So pretty much I've got the best stuff in the game. Not in that way. But I haven't played regular 4 in a long while. So maybe they do and I've forgotten, but this doesn't. The Soma drops to boost MP. Ah, it's in the Game Boy Advance version, right. It's not in the original SNES version, but it gets added in later. Yes, I'm at the max HP I can be at. And you can do about over 15,000 and break the damage limit. And you don't need to be at 149, you can do it at 90. So, let's get in there. Let's begin a little bit. I'm feeling good right now. Underground Waterway S, that's south. Status changes actually work. Supernova. That lowers them down to single-digit HP. So of course you'd be using Bolt here. Bolt full. I'm on reduce mode, but you do get the normal mode in this ROM hack. The reason why I am because there's a certain fight I want to try that is actually pretty difficult in endgame that I've never done before. I see the buffering. There we go. So, just like T Edition, it starts default at 3. If you go to 1, the enemies attack faster. If you go to 6, they attack slower. So, I'm gonna go to 1 right now, because really nothing in the main game is a challenge with my stuff right now. Make sure you're scanning to fill out your bestiary. Now notice you still have the signet. You don't lose it, the package. It is still in your key items. Yeah, Sushi probably figured it'd be a lot of work to do that, especially because there's about 216 creatures in this ROM hack. There is 255 plus bosses in T Edition, plus EX. As you know, if you don't, this ROM hack was made by 8-Bit Fan and Chili Freeze. See, that doesn't work, but this does. Yeah, but in some cases, oops, I knew I forgot something. I need to get back to Capo. Scourge. To be able to progress. So make sure you're scanning everything you come across. So it would say Basteri updated, and that gets added. Yes, you can gain black hole. So, as you saw, or you're about to see, what was what? So, if you don't know, in this ROM hack, CISO Dark Knight can dual wield. You can equip 2 swords. This is pretty much endgame best stuff in the game. Which makes CISO Dark Knight actually more useful than CISO and Paladin. And there's a reason why. We'll get into it later because it's a major spoiler. But we need to see Rosa. The Sand Ruby. I am treating this as a first playthrough, so only one spot where I would do something to get a hidden spoiler character, but wouldn't recommend you do it. But everything else will be by the book. So make sure you're scanning. So, what you see here is Bane. It uses HP to inflict critical blows, however, don't use it with the drain sewed on. Oh, it does Scourge. That's what it procs. So now we go over so let's use Dark. Break. And yes, Break does actually work on stronger monsters. Now, I'm not getting the items that are being dropped because I don't need them at this point, but make sure you are. Old man, Dark Knight, hear my plea. The wicked bog tricked my daughter into running away to dance, and I sense evil in that direction. You must be Sage Teller. Indeed, I need to rescue my daughter, but a gigantic monster blocks the way. My magic alone can't defeat it, but your sword might help. And this girl is a caller. She's quite gifted, I sense. Excellent. Then let's work together to get there. So Teller joins as normal. So, he's still at his usual level. But he has all white and black magic. So you get this. He has Ultima. So, you're wondering, he can't use Mateo. Yes, he can, and I'll show you how. Give him some Soma drops, and he'll be able to cast Mateo. When they say he's too old, he actually can. I know it's not grayed out. Let's go ahead and give him the Magus Rod. or I could give him the little. It should clear up shortly. Buffering again. Well, I'm about to show you. He's supposed to die, which... But we're gonna equip him. Okay, we need to pull out a helmet. And... there is... we'll give him the Luna. And we need to give him armor. So we're not gonna give him the Mystic. I'm gonna give him... the maneuverer, I think, is only... yes, the counter block. One moment and I'll be showing you. We're gonna give him... where's my maneuverer? You know what? We'll just give him an admin armor. So, let's go ahead and use Ultima. I mean, not Ultima, well, I can also use Ultima. We can actually help here. Mateo. And there you are, colder than hot fire. That myth that he can die is dispelled. It's sort of something they added in for fun. So, let's use Ultima and show. I need to use ethers anyway. So, what do you think, colder than hot fire? Remember, this game still takes the OG story. So, he'll still die. It's just you're not limited to not allowing him to be able to cast Mateo during your time. So, Rosa, he's missing one of the white mage spells. He has white and Ultima, but he doesn't have holy. The little throat does that. Oh yeah, I already did. I can pretty much one-shot any story boss right now. I beat, so few spoilers here. The only problem I have with the Besteries that there's no way to order it, get it in ABC order, but girl, the girl Lydia who you fight and miss, I actually defeated her. So she's at level 1, has 50,000 HP. Oh yeah. She is considered a boss. And you can steal a silver apple. The whole point of fighting, the whole point is to scan her. However, if you miss her for any reason, you can scan her at the boss rush. I'm also going to show this. have the Mist Dragon, but you have the other one. There's a lot of spoilers here. But in short, it's the same thing. So there's an extra boss. If you rewatch the vid, you'll see it. So the Misty, you have a chance to get the mythic drop of the Ice Brand early on. Although I've never gotten it, you could theoretically get it, but you have 2 chances, but you can still meet it at the boss rush. But it also only has a 25% chance to drop something. Zeus Rage, High Potion, and Medusa Arrows. So you get Medusa Arrows early. There are no other secrets in here. So make sure you're scanning. Ice Fall. Oh yeah. You wouldn't already have it, but I do already. But yes, there's an extra dragon. That extra one we fought. This is why I don't like about this. It's hard to find what you want. But I also don't have time to spend on trying. But yeah. Everyone in this ROM hack is useful in some way. The mages can actually hit enemies, they're not always missing. Well, hello, Climax. Welcome. Hope your evening's going well. We're still playing for a little while longer. Also, for those who were here last night, please watch the vid. I gave an apology to what happened. And let me say this, it was not on any of you. Why I ended the stream early. Oh, I'll just say it again. So, to all of you, my apologies for ending it early. Not 5 minutes after I did, I was able to get out, get back to the airship, save my game, and return my EX save to T Edition normal save. So yes, I was able to get out. Because I was just a little bit frustrated how long it took. I didn't know that I need, well, it did say in the readme and it didn't click with me that you actually have to go into the teleporter and then do the double button press to force it to return you to the airship. So that is my bad, and I just felt that I wanted to say that none of you were the cause of it. That's the funny part. 5 minutes after I ended the stream, I figured it out. But I now have a fully saved game of T Edition with all the achievements, so I start another new game plus. I no longer have to play EX, I have the achievement unlocked. So pretty much there's nothing left for me to do in that game. Sometimes hold's not going to work. Mini doesn't work on them. Supernova. It's buffering. But, I mean, Omega was pretty interesting for a boss. I'm actually quite surprised that it had to be added in. That it was already in the game, but not implemented. Because Climax would know this, the Dragon's Den was in the older versions before it changed to what you are seeing, the Labyrinth of the Ancients, Eureka, and the Crystal Tower. Which is a new summon. And yes, Climax, you see what I did to Tella. I used Soma drops to boost his MP so he can cast both Ultima and Mateo. But worry not, the story still goes on. Mateo. So don't let the myth that Tella cannot cast it. But I will show up to Climax Ultima as well, unless he's already seen it. I don't know if 8-Bit has plans to It does not. But this ROM hack does. I guess I'm not sure if it was 8-bit or Chili Freeze that added it in. They wanted to give the white mages some really good attack magic other than white, which white is just holy. Yep. And I think that's due to the space limitations or something. I can always ask. Okay, Chad, I'll leave it to you. It is coming up on almost 3 hours, and it's almost coming up to 10 p.m. my time. You want me to stay on longer, or should I stop here and continue pick up tomorrow? Please post in chat what you would like me to do. 'Cause the next save point won't be till I'm outside. She's very gifted. With proper training, she could do much more than call espers. Just like Anna. Yes, she ran away to Damsion with a bard as I disapproved of their union. Why are you two headed there? My comrade suffers from desert fever. The San Ruby is your goal. We must hurry then. Tell me about the monster of these caverns. A horrifying beast with 8 huge tentacles. We must defeat to save Anna and your friend. I only hope it's not too late. So, we are fully healed. So, what would you like, Chad? Do you want me to continue? Put a yes in chat or no? I know, Climax, you just came in. I think we'll continue right now. I've got a good enough amount of people in, and it's not that late yet. So we'll make it through here, through the first part. Now we receive the Vamp Thing, another offensive item. So, don't use anything drain on undead. But that don't mean I can't firebomb. I'll take that remedy. Make sure you're scanning. I don't need to. Yeah, I know. I don't need to scan, but if you're playing this on your first playthrough, scan. Like I said, there's nothing, no prize for completing the bestiary, but if you're looking for a particular item, this will show it. And climax, colder than hot fire asks this. Why didn't Sushi put a bestiary into tier edition? Is it because it was just too much? Do you know specifically? Because there's 216 in this game. Okay. I would have thought it was due to space issues and the fact that you got 255 creatures plus bosses plus EX bosses. So about 270 total are used to playing without bestiaries. But it was in the Game Boy Advance version. Right. It could be added, but I believe it'd be too much work to add it in the T edition now, without fully having to change things. Right, sushi mods are at the event level, not at the assembly level. Right. The fact that Sushi was able to make that romhack as good as it is, it's a miracle what he was able to do with it. He had to be a previous developer at a company. Right. But would it be worth adding in now? I don't even think Kane would have thought of doing it. That's, yeah, you're right. That's good to know. Let's use this stop sand. And then we'll use this. So Vamp Thing is just drain. But we'll also use this Zeus's Rage. You would need an assembly hacker, right? See, that's something I didn't know. I'm learning something right there. This, I think, is the hardest part early on for anyone playing, remembering which either abilify or heal cures certain status ailments until you get remedies. What's complicated as hell. Supernova. I would heavy advise you to be using status changes in this game. Probably because it's already in Confuse. Gaia's Drum. Gaia's Drum from 7. leather helmet. Okay. The black helmet, which is actually pretty decent. At this point in the game. Arrow. Mid potion. So the mid potion is medium HP. The high potion is high. I don't need that leather. Just picked up another remedy. You notice I met the alligator up here. Normally you wouldn't have met that until you fall down the waterfall. Then you have him. Ouch, the beast in the cave beyond here is strong. Use a tent if needed and save while you can. Stop sand and the blood sword. So you would equip the blood sword for draining HP. At this point. There we go. Let's back up. And I've lost just about everyone. Okay, we're probably gonna end it when I get outside the cave anyway. Firefall. Okay, we'll do one more fight. Nope. On second thought, okay. I think this is where we'll end for the night. We've done quite a bit. Let's do a quick tent. And I think we'll stop here for tonight. So, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me as we begin our next playthrough here in Ultima Plus Final Fantasy IV. Join me tomorrow same time as we continue, as we head for Dam Jensen to continue that. So, if you're still here watching the VOD first, I'd like to thank everyone, Colder Than Hotfire for joining, Climax for jumping in, Beastie Man, appreciate all of you, Dan for looking, I appreciate you just for that. So, if you're still here watching the VOD and the live stream, a thumbs up and a follow on YouTube, and a follow and a tier and a sub on Twitch will greatly help me on both channels and the vids on both. So it is late, I can't redirect over on YouTube, so we're gonna see who we will raid over on Twitch. So, thank you all. And let's see. We'll give it to this person. He's playing 6. So, raid has started. You all have a good night. This is Soa signing out.